Hello and welcome to Press Pass. I'm Elizabeth Bauer.
I'm Cody Stavenhagen, sports editor of the Daily Collegian.
And I'm Kieran Steckley, Daily Collegian men's basketball beat writer.
This past weekend, the Cowgirl basketball team lost to the Baylor Bears, dropping them out of the first place spot in the Big 12. Cody, how will the loss to Baylor affect the rest of the season?
You know, Elizabeth, I really don't think it's a catastrophic loss. Actually, it might end up being a constructive loss. The Cowgirls proved they can hang with Baylor. They lost in overtime. They proved they can hang with the Bears, really, for the first time in 4 years. OSU played a little bit of a rough game yesterday, but they ended up beating TCU, and now they're going to have a shot coming up in Waco, not too far away. OSU is still in a great position to win the Big 12.
Kieran, your thoughts?
Now, Elizabeth, I don't think there's any need to panic. The Cowgirls are going to be just fine. They have 9 games to go in the regular season, only 3 of which are against ranked teams. Now, it's not going to be easy. 2 of those games are on the road. But Jim Littell and company are going to be near the top of the Big 12 standings at season's end. I'm confident of that.
The Cowboy basketball team also lost 2 of its last 3 games. Where do you think this team is headed going into the second half of conference play?
You know, Elizabeth, I really think this team is at a bit of a tipping point right now. They just came off a tough loss to Oklahoma in Norman and lost 2 of the last 3, as you said. But this is still a team with 3 NBA caliber players, with one of the best in the nation in Marcus Smart. You know, just a great roster. Now presents a chance for them to get it back together, pick up the pieces, and make a run in conference play. If that doesn't happen, they could end up going into a tailspin. But given what I know about this team, the talent on the roster, and just a little bit of a more upbeat energy I noticed today in Gallagher-Iba Arena, I think OSU gets it together and makes a decent run down the stretch of the Big 12.
See, this team is playing games from now on where they're going to be grind-outs, all right? They're not going to be blowing out a lot of teams, with the exception of TCU and maybe a game here and there. There are going to be a lot of close games, a lot of games aside in the last 5 minutes, maybe in the last minute. We might see an overtime or 2. So I think this team is done with the blowouts. They're not going to be, you know, the top 5 team, like Final Four team that we thought going in. Maybe those expectations were a little bit too high anyway. But without Michael Cobbins, they're not the same team. I'm clear and confident of that. But they're still a good team, and I think they're going to be top 3 of the Big 12.
OSU's next 2 games include Baylor this Saturday and Iowa State this coming Monday. What are your predictions for these next 2 games?
Well, Oklahoma State's going to play a Baylor team that is struggling in its own right. It's actually struggling a lot more than the Cowboys have. But Baylor still has a very good inside game with Corey Jefferson and Isaiah Austin. They'll be a formidable challenge, especially for a small OSU lineup. But I really think Oklahoma State is the better team at the end of the day. I'm going to say they win 79-71. As for Iowa State, coming up on Monday, Fred Hoiberg is going to coach a very good Cyclones team. This is a team that can shoot the 3, that can run the floor. It can also do the little things right. They're maybe the best team in this conference right now. It's going to be a major challenge for Oklahoma State. I'm going to say the Cyclones pull it out 86-83.
On Saturday, I believe that Oklahoma State's going to take advantage of playing a reeling Baylor Bears team. They're not playing very well right now. They've lost several in a row. They're starting to question themselves. Their players haven't played up to their own pedigree. I believe Oklahoma State's going to win 85-78. Come Monday, big Monday, Iowa State, Eddie Sutton night. There's going to be a lot of energy in the arena. And the game's going to be a really good one, too. It's going to live up to the billing. Iowa State is a very talented team. They're very well coached. They sneak up on some people sometimes. But Oklahoma State fans are very familiar with how talented this team is, having the matchups gone the way they have the last several years. It's going to be a close one. I give the edge to the home team, Oklahoma State 78, Iowa State 76.
Thanks, guys. That's all we have for you today. I'm Elizabeth Bauer, and thanks for watching Press Pass.